Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Barber Shop Sports Talk.
We're back for another episode of Barber Shop Sports Talk, the 20th episode of Barber Shop Sports Talk, to be exact. It's been a long time since we've been doing this. Moving up in the world, recording episodes, making moves, doing all that stuff. Good, have a great show planned for all of you today. Landon Rhodes, guest, one of our usuals. He's going to come on a little later. We're going to preview the NBA, who we think is going to win the MVP, how we think the playoff standings are going to be in the East and the Western Conference, and who we think will win the NBA championship. So that will be very interesting to see Landon's opinion on that. But before we get into NBA, because we're going to be an NBA-dominated show today, Colin Kaepernick just finds his way in the news. This man, like no other, finds his way in the news. He's filing grievance against the NFL. So you say the NFL participated in collusion, which is the reason why he can't get a job. And it's so interesting why he's doing this. All of you. You know those things that you really think in your mind, but you shouldn't say? Everybody's had that moment. We're all irrational, we're all upset, we're all mad, we can't think. And we say something we had no business saying. Sometimes, at least I'll tell you this, sometimes there's times when I'm getting a tongue lashing, sometimes I'm getting a tongue lashing from my parents. Sometimes to bite your tongue and not say anything instead of going off and popping off, because it won't end well for you. Actually, this is very similar to the situation Colin Kaepernick's going through right now. You can be right, but the authority figure is the NFL, so you are wrong. He is going against the NFL. He will not win in court. That's a done deal. No way. And while, in my opinion, it does only take two fools to have a text message and email to even perpetrate the fact that they were participating, the NFL owners were participating in collusion, it probably won't happen, because I find it hard to believe these billionaires are that stupid. But there's been stupider things that have been done. We've seen this before with Colin Kaepernick. Things aren't going well. Like I said, Colin Kaepernick knows it's over. He knows his career is done. He's sitting at home with his girlfriend. He's watching football instead of playing football. The sport he loves, the sport he's making millions off of, the sport he's pretty damn good at. Went to 2 straight NFC championship games. Went to a Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick was a hell of a quarterback when he was with Jim Harbaugh on the San Francisco 49ers. He's sitting at home and he's like, that's all gone because I stood up for something that I thought was right. And that angers Colin Kaepernick. And one of the things in this world that can make people the most ticked off is when you get scolded for being right. So now he's trying to take this into court, something he has no chance of winning. Filing collusion. I mean, the NFL's been losing viewership with the national anthem protests. So the NFL's already agitated. Stars, Odell Beckham, Aaron Rodgers, J.J. Watt, injured. And now the NFL's dealing with Colin Kaepernick. And not to mention Ezekiel Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys, his issues going on, which does not make Roger Goodell in the NFL too happy. And Colin Kaepernick's coming up out of nowhere. They thought Kaepernick was out of sight, out of mind. He's coming out here and he's threatening to tear up their CBA. A CBA that they took the players to the school with, by the way. And he's starting to tear all that up. You don't poke the bear. You don't poke the bear. You're messing with the most powerful sports league in North America. He's ticked off the owners. And I'll tell you this. You can fight him. Tom Brady fought him. Tom Brady lost. Ezekiel Elliott's fighting him. I mean, he just won another appeal or whatever. Ezekiel Elliott's judge didn't show up, so Ezekiel's going to be able to play this week. But Ezekiel Elliott's going to eventually lose. Colin Kaepernick, and I'll say this again. Let me say this. Colin Kaepernick, far being unbelievable amount of stupidity from the NFL owners to have a text message or email that outed them. Barring that, Colin Kaepernick will lose this battle. There's no way in hell he wins. There's no way. And if he wins, because the thing about this is, it won't get Colin Kaepernick a job if he wins. He'll just piss off the owners. He's burned the bridge. I mean, he can settle for money, but his career is over. So at this point, I don't know what he's accomplishing. I don't think it's good for anybody. I think he should just, personally, and I'm not talking about the national anthem, whether you agree with what he did or not, but at a point, I believe Colin Kaepernick's right to kneel, but I also believe it's the NFL owner's right to not hire him if they don't want to. They can do that. You know, no good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. Sometimes doing something you think is right requires sacrifice. And right now, I think Colin Kaepernick's forgetting about that a little bit. You should have known when you did. I mean, he's getting mad now that he's not getting a job. You should have known when you did this. You pissed off older white billionaires who are male. Let me repeat that. Male, older, white billionaires. You pissed those people off. Good luck finding a job. I mean, this isn't rocket science. It isn't rocket science. But then again, like I said, we get upset. We make rash decisions. We don't think this through. I think this Colin Kaepernick story is going to come to an end very soon. Now, on my NFL Week 6 predictions. Bad week, 5-6. Packers at Vikings, I was wrong. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Anthony Barr blasted Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings won. Lions at Saints, I was right. No, it's Luke. He will not be happy about this. My partner on What's Your Take That's On can be found on YouTube, JCU Television. By the way, have to advertise a little bit. No would be pissed at me for saying this. But yes, I picked against Lions. And I was right. Dolphins at Falcons. I was wrong. The Falcons laid an egg. Patriots at Jets. I was right. The Patriots won. Close like I thought it would be. It was a little bit closer. They ended up winning by 7 points. I thought it was going to be 10. 49ers at Redskins. I was right. The Redskins won. Buccaneers at Cardinals. I was wrong. The Cardinals won, and the Cardinals picked up Adrian Peterson, who had a big game. Rams at Jaguars. I was right. The Rams won, and the Jaguars continue their Jekyll and Hyde season. 1 week they're blowing out teams, and the other they just lose. Steelers at Chiefs. I was wrong. The Steelers won, and I thought the Chiefs would keep on winning and keep the undefeated season going. Steelers beat the Chiefs. Chargers at Raiders. I was right. The Raiders won. Giants at Broncos. I was wrong. The Giants won. And they messed up my pick. And last but not least, for Monday Night Football, Colts at Titans. I was wrong. I had the Colts winning. And in an upset, like Jacoby Brissett, I think he's pretty underrated. What do you know? Titans came out. They beat him. 5-6. You know, not as good as last week, but you could do worse. There's a couple ones you can't expect. You can't expect the Falcons and the Dolphins. Packers and Vikings, Aaron Rodgers hit. Some stuff you can't expect. I mean, Giants at Broncos. You can't expect those games. So I think we did okay. Now, next up, Barber Shop Sports Talk, we're going to have Landon Rhodes come on. Start making our NBA season predictions. Coming up next on Barbershop Sports Talk.
I'm so yeah. I'm so lonely when I leave you. Yeah. Baby, you know I just really need you. Don't got nobody else to compete more than a friend. Together to the end.
You just heard rapper, singer TQ West. He does all types of music. If you want to feature, contact him at taekwonwarren004@gmail.com. I repeat, if you want to contact him, it's taekwonwarren004@gmail.com. $50 for a hook, $100 for a verse. But wait, there's a caveat. It could also be for free if he likes the beat, verse, or if he likes the hook. Contact TQ West. Oh, we're back with Barber Shop Sports Talk. We have Landon Rhodes back with us again.
Back on the show.
How you doing, Landon?
I'm doing very well. Very excited with this NBA season just starting.
So we're going to do NBA preview predictions. Regular season, East, West, postseason, who we think is going to end up coming out as the champions, and the MVP. Now first, we're going to start with the Western Conference. How do you see it playing out in terms of standings?
Okay. I want to say that overall the Warriors won't have the best record, but I think it's definitely going to happen. They were ahead on the Rockets by a lot. I don't know what the most was. They ended up losing the game, which was kind of crazy. But they looked like they were clicking well. And actually, Nick Young was doing really well. He shot I forget the exact stat, but he made his first 4 3-pointers.
Yeah, he had 18 points in the first half.
Yeah, he did. He was nice. And I mean, if they're getting even better than they were last year, that's scary. So that would be overall. I would say Warriors, Thunder at 2 probably, Rockets at 3. I mean, that's kind of the basic predictions. I hope the Timberwolves make the playoffs, though. I really do. I want the Timberwolves pretty badly. If the Pelicans could, that'd be cool, but they have the Spurs and Rockets both in the Southwest, so that's going to be kind of hard. But and the Grizzlies actually, and the Mavericks. That's actually just a hard division overall.
Yeah. Well, for me, I have the Warriors 1, best team I think in the NBA. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. They got guys like Nick Young, JaVale McGee's pretty good, and he doesn't even play half the time. Andre Iguodala, Finals MVP. I have them the 1. 2, I have the San Antonio Spurs. They're just always steady. Mm-hmm. Best coach in the NBA, Greg Popovich. And Kawhi Leonard, who I think is I think Kawhi Leonard's a top 3 player in the NBA. I think only LeBron and Kevin Durant are better than Kawhi, and I think Kawhi Leonard's going to have a very good year. 3rd, I have Oklahoma City. I'm not too high on them, but I think they're going to end up finishing 3rd. Westbrook, Carmelo, Paul George.
Yeah.
Pretty good 3. I don't know what else they have besides that. Really. And after you get out of the starting 5 with Adams and Roberson.
Yeah.
You don't really have too much. 4th, I have Houston. I think Houston's going to take a little bit of a step back from last year. I'm not a big fan of the Chris Paul, James Harden test or whatever they're trying to do over there. I think it's going to end in flames in the postseason, but I think they'll finish 4th. 5th, I have the Timberwolves. I really like the Timberwolves. Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns. That's a great 3. That's a great 3.
Yeah.
6, I have the Pelicans with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, who I think if they can just find some cohesiveness, they could be really dangerous. If they just can find some cohesiveness and figure out how to play with each other.
They have Drew Holiday, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew Holiday isn't bad.
Yeah, they could be really damn good. Really good.
Definitely.
And then 7, I have the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum. They have Nurkic. He didn't get to play in the postseason last year, actually, I don't think. But I like the shooting. I like their backcourt. And then 8th, I have the Memphis Grizzlies, the grit and grind.
Mm-hmm.
They always just find a way to keep making the playoffs. Mike Conley's really underrated, and Marc Gasol's a beast, so I think they're going to figure out a way to just eke in the playoffs and get that 8th spot.
Yeah, I agree with that for the most part. I'm trying to think. So you don't have the Clippers making the playoffs?
No, I do not have the Clippers making the playoffs. The West is loaded.
Yeah.
I didn't even name Denver. Either Denver's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
The Utah made the playoffs last year.
Did they?
Yeah, the Jazz were in the playoffs last year.
I didn't even remember that. Damn.
They got swept by the Warriors in the 2nd round. They beat the Clippers in the 1st round.
I mean, this might be Dirk's last hurrah too, with the Mavericks.
The West is loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the top 4 that are guaranteed are Golden State, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and Houston. But I mean, after that, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Clippers made it or the Nuggets made it.
Yeah.
And the Jazz. I wouldn't be shocked.
Or 1-0.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the West is just far and away the best conference. I mean, it's not even comparable. It's like it's comparing varsity to JV. to put it nicely. Do
you want to talk about the JV now? The East?
Sure, you will. Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna obviously put the Cavs number 1. And it might have been close with me between them and the Celtics before the Hayward injury, but now, especially after they just lost to the Bucks last night, I think the Celtics are going to struggle a little bit. And I'm not even going to put them at 2 anymore. I'm going to put the Raptors at 2. And then after that, well, actually, I might put the Raptors at 3 and the Wizards at 2 and put the Celtics at 4.
You haven't dropped them that low.
Yeah, I really do. I think they haven't been. I mean, Irving's nice, but like I remember the Cleveland years when he had to lead them without LeBron. It wasn't pretty. Like that was when they lost how many games in a row, like 24 or something. Yeah. So and actually the Heat aren't bad either. I think the Heat could possibly make a run. The Bucks, I hope, make the playoffs. I'd like to see Giannis in the playoffs. I think it would be interesting, but we'll just have to see about that. I really thought, actually, everyone hates on the Nets a lot. I thought they were going to have a good year, but then the Lin injury, I think, is going to maybe stop that from happening.
So you think Boston's going to... So you had Boston second in the beginning, but now you think they're going to go all the way to 4th.
Yeah, close second, and now I put them at a close 4th. I think the Raptors and them are like comparable. If somehow the Raptors and the Celtics had to play in the playoffs, I think it could go to 6 or 7 games probably. But assuming Hayward doesn't come back, I've heard he's out for the season officially.
Yeah, because he moved that gruesome ankle injury.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second. We're going to take a quick break, and then next up, I'm going to ask you a question about one team in the East. Coming up next on Barber Shop Sports Talk. We're back with Barber Shop Sports Talk. We still have Landon Rhodes with us. Where we were talking a bit about the Western Conference. Then we went to the East, and you gave your predictions for the East. Before I give my predictions for the Eastern Conference, I want to ask you, how good do you think the Philadelphia 76ers can be?
In the future, very good. This year, still don't think playoff worthy quite yet.
You don't think Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, Joel Embiid?
I mean, I love Simmons. He's on my fantasy team this year. He's getting me nice points. I mean, I guess I'll backtrack a little. If they can stay healthy, there's a possibility they could make the playoffs. But I don't see them. I don't see them being like in the top 3 or anything like that.
No.
I think they'll definitely, if they were to make a playoff or make the playoffs, they would be one of the lower, like just squeaking in type teams.
Yeah.
But in the future, I could see them as being like, making it consistently into the playoffs. But I think, I don't know, they have to mesh. And I don't think they're meshing quite yet.
Joel Embiid's a player.
Yeah, Joel Embiid, he's interesting. I'll say that. I like the attitude he has about him.
Yeah, he's definitely. Twitter's funny.
Yeah. I think also it hinges on Fultz. We haven't seen enough of Fultz yet. If Fultz turns out to be the great pick everyone thinks he was, then I just think it's hard for a rookie point guard to lead you into the playoffs his first year, but we'll just see.
Yeah. Now for the East, I had the Boston Celtics actually as the 1 seed. I thought they were gonna have a better record.
Really?
But then Gordon Hayward broke his ankle, and then I moved Boston to 2, and that might be generous. I'm still going to take them over Washington and Toronto because I think I like the team better. And so I like Jaylen Brown and I like Tatum and I like Smart. and Horford, I think they still have some pieces around them. If Kyrie can play like he should play, I think they can still be the second best team in the East. But I have Cleveland 1 now, Boston 2. 3, I have Washington. 4, I have Toronto. 5, I have Milwaukee. 6, I have Miami. 7th, I have Detroit. And 8th, I have the Sixers sneaking in.
Noah's going to like that.
Yes, Noah would love the fact that I have Detroit making the playoffs, but they will get swept in the first round.
Yeah.
Per usual for Detroit.
I mean, yeah, I actually like some of the things Detroit did do over the offseason, though. I like the Avery Bradley addition for sure. Drummond's a solid player. I like Reggie Jackson a lot, too, actually. But, yeah, I don't think they have the talent to, like, get – I don't know. I'm not going to for sure say they won't win in the first round, but I would not see them getting past the second for sure.
Oh, definitely not. Do you think the East is just Cleveland and then it's just a bunch of no-names? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Cleveland should sweep their way through the East.
I'm not going to say sweep their way through. I really, in, like, a 7-game series, I would say it would be a little overly optimistic by Cavs fans to assume that they're going to sweep Washington or Boston. I think they have the talent to at least get a game or two. I could see us going 5 or 6 games probably with Washington or Boston. Maybe even 7 with Boston eventually, but I don't think without Hayward 7. I think without Hayward, I'd say 5 to 6.
And I have to ask you this question. I don't think I ever asked you this question. When Kyrie left LeBron James, a lot was made that Kyrie was being selfish. He wasn't seeing the big picture. He was nothing with when LeBron James wasn't there, and he became something when LeBron was there. So I do want to know, where do you stand with that?
Well, I heard some Cavs fans on social media saying they wish they actually got rid of LeBron and kept Kyrie, which to me is ridiculous. If you look at what Kyrie did before LeBron came compared to what LeBron did before Kyrie came, but or what LeBron.
But could I make the argument he was a baby? It was his first couple years in the league, and they didn't have a whole lot around him.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could, but also keep in mind a lot of the free agents and stuff that the Cavs ended up getting were because of LeBron. Like, Kyrie doesn't have the ability to create a super team quite yet, I don't think. Like, LeBron, he could go to a team and recruit his friends and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Kyrie, I feel like, doesn't have very many friends in the league, to be honest with you. And I actually just this morning read something that was suggesting that the whole thing that started his issues with LeBron was something that involved, like, one of LeBron's close friends being, like, snubbed by Kyrie's dad or something. Like, Kyrie's dad was, like, trying to high-five him and, like, or no, the friend was trying to high-five Kyrie's dad, and Kyrie's dad, like, wouldn't high-five him because he, like, wasn't happy with the management in Cleveland or something. So it may have more to do with Kyrie's dad than we thought.
So do you think Kyrie made the right decision leaving?
For his fan base and, like, money, probably. I'm assuming eventually Kyrie is going to get a very, very big extension, I would assume.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Cavs could have given him the same extension. But as far as for rings, probably not. At least he's going to have to at least wait till LeBron retires, I think. There's I don't know. I mean, I'd have to compare their ages to get an estimate on how many years Kyrie will have after LeBron's
Kyrie's
gone.
like 25, LeBron's 32.
Okay.
33 this
so
year.
He should have a good amount, barring injuries. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics, that team can win championships. I just think it's probably going to take place after
Well, because one of Kyrie Irving, one of his mentors is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Who kicked Shaq out of town. I see their situations sort of similar.
Yeah.
You think Kyrie thinks it? I think Kyrie believes he's Kobe Bryant in this scenario, and LeBron James is Shaq, and he's like, F all this. I'm going to just win the rings. Yeah. I'm going to win the ring. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a little bit full of himself to think that?
Yeah, definitely full of himself to think that, because what he's got to recognize is just
he's like, not Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, and who LeBron is also, because I mean, we could argue all day about whether Shaq or Kobe was more important to those Lakers teams, and people still do. I personally think Shaq had a lot more to do with it than he gets credit for. But that being said, it's kind of hard to compare in some ways because of the positions they played. Like, Kyrie and Kobe is slightly comparable because it's like a shooting guard, or I think Kobe played a little small forward at times.
No, what I mean is you have two dominant physical forces. Shaq, 7'1", 300 pounds, as super athletic, and then LeBron James, 6'8", 6'9", 250. You have two super freakish athletic forces that the league has never seen. And then you have them go, and their sidekick, so to speak, is a young athletic wing player that's the closer, quote unquote. And it's that guy. That's how I see their situations very similar.
Yeah, I mean, the main difference I'd say is the fact that Kyrie was the one who ended up leaving town, though.
Yes, yeah.
So, what that should tell Kyrie...
Well, because Kobe and Shaq were comparable. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving aren't comparable.
Yeah. I mean, Kyrie didn't have the power within the organization to tell them to get rid of LeBron, obviously. Yeah. LeBron, in the Kobe-Shaq deal, that whole thing, Kobe had the power as far as, like, the organization. And in this situation, LeBron had the power in the organization. So that's why Kyrie ended up leaving. Although a lot of people forget, Kobe almost ended up going to the Bulls, like... a little bit after that, I think. Yeah. But I think Kyrie, I mean, I don't know. I loved him when he was on the Cavs. I think there are just reasons that haven't really come out yet that we'll probably find out in like the coming year or years. Who knows how long it'll take. But I think eventually he's going to write a book about it or something, and I think then we'll know. But
now, coming up next on Barbershop Sports Talk, I'm going to ask Landon about who you think is going to win the MVP, Rookie of the Year. Is Lonzo Ball really worth the hype? And all that coming up next. Oh, we're back with Barbershop Sports Talk. We still have Landon with us.
Yep.
So now I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year?
I actually really liked how Tatum looked in the preseason. I think Tatum on the Celtics has a great chance to do that. I like Josh Jackson a lot also, but the Suns are just a mess. That first game was... Oh man, I think I read something that said it was like the worst opening night loss ever or something like that in the history of the NBA.
Suns are not a very good team.
Yeah, so maybe Josh Jackson can find a role within that and do something, but I'm going to say Tatum though.
Tatum?
Yeah.
No Lonzo Ball?
No, Beverly really kind of messed him up last night, to be honest with you. If he's getting locked up by Patrick Beverly, I mean, don't get me wrong, Patrick Beverly's first team defense. Yeah. But
I mean, he's not a scorer, though.
Yeah. And I forget how many total points Ball finished with last night.
It's like 6 or 7 points.
Okay. But I do know that he had a lot of different stats, though. I think he had like 9 rebounds, which is interesting.
He had 4 assists. I mean, he's 6'7" guard.
Yeah. So it's his first game. I mean, I don't like it when people freak out about like the first game. Like I remember his first preseason game, he didn't do well, and everyone was all hard on him. And then his second game, I believe, he like went off. So we'll just have to keep watching and just keep seeing, because like judging him after his first NBA game is kind of ridiculous.
I think Ben Simmons is going to win Rookie of the Year. I would say Lonzo Ball, but Lonzo Ball just can't score. Lonzo cannot score. And I think Simmons can do everything that Lonzo can, but Ben Simmons can get his own shot off on a consistent basis. And I think Ben Simmons is going to average around 18 points a game, while Lonzo's going to be struggling to average 10 points a game. I do not see how he averages 10 points a game. He's going to struggle to get his shot off, I think. He doesn't even look to shoot. He plays hot potato. He passes the ball so quickly.
Yeah.
He might average 9-10 assists, but he will not. I find it hard to believe he's going to get double figures.
I honestly forgot about Simmons.
Yeah.
Because he's like, obviously he's technically a rookie.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see Simmons doing it too. But I'm going to keep the Tatum. So I'm going to keep Tatum.
So who do you have winning the MVP?
I got Russell Westbrook going back-to-back.
Back-to-back?
Yep, I do.
That's going to piss off Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know. he already has his first triple-double, first game of the year, and he's got more shooters than ever. So, I don't know. I'd love to see LeBron win it, but I think it's just hard for him to win it anymore, even though he's putting up like as good stats as he ever has.
Russell Westbrook MVP. That's you can't really outdo what he did last year, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm trying to remember what the voting was like last year. Wasn't it even not really close?
No, it was.
Was it between him and Harden? Was it actually close?
I think it was. Yeah, it was close.
Okay, for some reason I thought it wasn't even close. Okay, if it was close between him and Harden, then like I said, I don't know. I'm going out on a limb by saying he could go back to back, but he has what he did last year was with a poor team around him, and he actually has a couple All-Stars now. So I mean, Steven Adams considered an All-Star? I don't even know if he's made an All-Star.
No, he's not. No, Steven Adams is an All-Star. No.
Hey, I like Adams. So
I do like Adams.
But I was trying to remember if he made an All-Star game.
No, and Adams never made an All-Star game.
Okay. But obviously Paul George and Anthony have, so.
Now, for me, for the MVP, I have that man from San Antonio, Kawhi Leonard.
Claw.
I love Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard's like the perfect player you want. If I could just have, no, he's not high maintenance. He doesn't talk. He just goes out there and balls.
Yeah.
He plays old school. He actually shoots mid-range jumpers. He can get to the hole. He's a great defender. I remember I saw him guarding LeBron James last year, and he took the ball from LeBron like LeBron was a little kid. Yeah. Kawhi is crazy. He's the best defender in the NBA, and it's not even really close, even though Draymond won the award last year. It should have been Kawhi 3 times, but you can't keep giving the same guy the same award. Kawhi is so special on defense, and I think his offensive game is going to go up another level as he grows into that being the guy in San Antonio, and I think San Antonio's going to have a really good record. They're going to be in the 60-win territory once again, and I think voters are finally going to recognize that and give Kawhi the award.
Just got to watch out for Zaza.
He doesn't have to worry about Zaza till the postseason.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I want to ask you this question. Do you think, because you were talking about this before with LeBron James, do you think it's just fatigue, voter fatigue? Like Michael Jordan can get the award every year. You can't give the same guy the same award every year. Yeah,
that's kind of what I was hinting at earlier a little bit. I think it's hard for him to win it anymore these days because I think people kind of got sick of him winning it a little bit. We might see him if he has a really good season towards like when retirement is starting to come up a little bit on his mind, if he has an outstanding season like one of his last years, I feel like they might give it to him just as kind of like a parting gift. But I feel like people are more obsessed with the I don't know, like LeBron's a very exciting player, but I think a lot of the people these days like crazy 3-point shooters like Steph Curry or Durant, obviously. I feel like in some ways they view LeBron as like an old man, sort of. Yeah. And I think that vibe kind of hurts his voting, even though he's putting up better stats than like most players. I don't know. I don't know. That's just, I feel like he's not considered like the sexy MVP choice, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Now, we were talking about this a little bit earlier as well. You have for Rookie of the Year, you have Tatum, I have Simmons. And none of us mentioned Lonzo Ball. Do you think we overrate Lonzo Ball because of his father?
I actually think he's underrated because of his father, because everyone wants to hate on him because of what his father does. Everyone's like, I don't know. I don't hear that many people saying he's great, to be honest with you. I hear a lot of people who hate on him all the time and say, like, he's horrible. So I actually feel, at least in the circles I'm in, that he's underrated because everybody wants him to do bad because of what his dad does. So we'll just have to see.
Okay. Now, coming up next on Barber Shop Sports Talk, me and Landon, we're going to give our predictions for the NBA playoffs. Coming up next. Oh, we're back with Barbershop Sports Talk. Still have Landon with us. It's been a theme for most of the show, going through the NBA season since it just started this Tuesday. Now, Landon, who do you think is going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals?
All right. I want to see Washington, Cleveland. I really do. We haven't gotten that.
Over Kyrie, LeBron, Boston, Cleveland again?
No, I don't want to see that. I don't think. I mean, I'd love to see it. It would be fun to watch, but I really believe that Washington or Toronto could both beat Boston in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be Toronto or Washington, but we've already seen what LeBron does to Toronto every single year. So I would rather see Washington. Just to see what John Wall can do, because him and Beal, they talk a lot of smack about how great their team is and how they think they're the best in the East constantly. So let's put them to the test finally.
I have Boston, Cleveland. I think Kyrie's going to get him there, and I think it's a great story having Kyrie versus LeBron. I think Kyrie is the second best player in the East. I'll take him over anybody else in the East except for LeBron. And really? I think he's going to bring his team. I'm very high on Kyrie Irving. I love Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's a player.
Yeah, he's good.
I have them getting to the Cavs, and I have them losing to the Cavs in 6 games. I'll give them 6 games. Okay. Now, who do you have us have the Cavs winning, right?
Yeah, I would definitely have the Cavs beating. I'm going to say beat Washington in 6.
6?
Yeah.
Now, who do you have out of the West?
Okay, this is it's gonna really involve injuries so much. Obviously, we can't predict who's gonna get hurt and stuff, but if we have a healthy Thunder team and a healthy Warriors team, I'm still going Warriors, actually. And then you never know. Houston could get there too. It's gonna be Houston or OKC against the Warriors, and if it's Houston, I think maybe Houston could pull off the upset after watching them come back last night, without even like obviously Chris Paul is all new to that team, and they were still able to beat them. So the Rockets, I think, would have a chance of beating the Warriors. The Thunder, I don't think, because I think Melo's going to keep forcing shots like he always does, and you just can't do that when there's a risk of them hitting threes every single time they get the ball down.
I have to disagree with you, Landon. I have the Spurs against the Warriors. I think Houston, I'm very lonely. I think Houston might go out in the first round. I would not be shocked. I think Houston's going to have some issues. Chris Paul will not be happy just sitting out there on the 3-point line watching James Harden dance and dance and dance. But that's going to get old real quick with Chris Paul. Because that was 80%. That's all what happened.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, the first round, though.
It's like when Kobe Bryant turned Steve Nash into a spot-up shooter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, I don't know. This is back to what you're saying about Kyrie Irving, though. You would take Irving as the second best player in the East over Giannis?
Yes, I would.
Really?
I'd rather have... I think if Kyrie is right, I think Kyrie could be a top 5 player in the NBA. I think... No, let me put it to you this way. If Kyrie plays the way I believe he can play, I think he can be the 4th best player in the NBA. Easily. Wow. I think he's as good as Steph Curry. I think he's as good as James Harden. I think he's as good as Russell Westbrook. I think I've seen Kyrie do too much. In high leverage moments, he always makes the big plays. When Kyrie decides to, Kyrie can play really good defense. Yeah. As well. I think he's just as talented as all those guys. So, yes, I would have Kyrie. I don't think he's top 5 right now, but I think he can be. So, yes, I have Kyrie over
I think Giannis is better, but I don't know. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. But, okay, so you have...
I have the Spurs.
Beating the Warriors.
No.
Okay.
No. Making it to the conference finals.
Okay. So you have Warriors, Cavs.
Yes, and I have the Spurs taking the Warriors to 7 games. And I was tempted to pick the Spurs. I was tempted to pick the Spurs.
All right.
I was really tempted.
I have Warriors, Cavs finals, and I'm going to go with an optimistic Cavs.
Cavs.
But it's probably going to be 7. But if we get a Cavs sweep and shut the Warriors up for good, that would be insane. I would love that.
I think the Warriors are going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in 7 games. I don't think Cleveland has the talent. I just don't. 4 of the 5 best players on both teams are with the Warriors.
I mean...
And to be honest, 4 of the 5 best players.
I'm not going to lie. I think D Rose looks rejuvenated. He had that buzzer beater for the half. And imagine when he can come off the bench. That's the thing I'm talking about. When he has to start right now, but once Isaiah Thomas is back, I don't know. I'm just saying Sean Livingston is their backup. He's pretty good, but I think D Rose can put Sean Livingston in the blender, quite honestly.
But D Rose can't check Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston's a 6'7" point guard.
Yeah, he's nice, but I don't know.
And then Iguodala, I think the Warriors have 3-4 guys that they can run at LeBron, which I think is going to be an issue. They can put Durant on him. They can put Draymond on him. They can put Iguodala on him. They can put Klay on him.
Well, don't forget the year Iguodala won Finals MVP. It wasn't for shutting down LeBron. It was for slowing him.
No. I'm saying they have four guys they can put on to slow him down to make LeBron work. They have 4 guys.
Okay, so then here's what needs to happen. Corver needs to actually remember how to shoot in next year's finals.
If the Cavs try to play up tempo with the Warriors, they're going to get demolished.
Yeah, so they won't.
That's what they did last year, though.
Yeah, okay, but then get JR off the bench, which will be lethal.
My dad famously says J.R. Smith is a fraud.
A fraud.
Yes. When does J.R. Smith ever show up in big moments? He disappears.
The reason we won Game 7 of the NBA Finals is because of J.R. Smith. He had like 2 or 3.
Besides that, though, he's always disappearing. J.R.'s always gone. I don't know if he's talking to Rihanna or something. What is J.R. doing?
J.R., I don't know. I would have to disagree with that.
He didn't show up in the finals, and he's talking about weeds in the locker room.
Okay, but we were down at halftime by kind of a lot in Game 7. It was not a ton. I think it might have been 9. It might have been at halftime of Game 7 the year we won it. And then he came out after a half and hit back-to-back 3-pointers to cut it to 3. And that was what gave them hope. So
don't you think that's a problem if you're relying on J.R. Smith, who's streaky as you know what to be?
Okay, so what do? They go out and get D Wade, so we don't have to rely on him as much.
D Wade can't shoot.
I don't know about that. His shot looked pretty. I mean, he actually.
Well, I mean, he can't shoot threes.
He didn't do extremely well against the Celtics, but it was his first game, and him and LeBron looked like might have still had that chemistry. He was throwing oops to him and stuff. So,
the Warriors are so functional. I don't. The Warriors. Everybody thought that they were going to beat the Warriors last year, and the Warriors beat them in 5 games.
I think a lot of those people were being optimistic, but
so you think we're going to assume that the Warriors would have the better record probably in the regular season. So that means they're going to Golden State and they win 7.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that happens because the West is improved. So who knows? I mean, the Cavs may end up with a better record. It'd be weird, but it could happen.
And given what I've seen, I don't think LeBron James can really guard Kevin Durant at the moment.
Yeah.
that was... And then you have Steph Curry. Who do they have guarding Steph Curry?
Put Isaiah Thomas on him.
Isaiah Thomas is like 5'7".
I know. I'd just do it. Let him steal it. I don't know. But, I mean... Or Shumpert on him. Shumpert has proven, at least occasionally, that he can guard him okay. Or re-sign Dellavedova.
What are they going to do? They put Klay Thompson on to Derrick Rose or Isaiah Thomas?
I'd take... The Rose Thompson wouldn't be that bad. Isaiah Thomas and him would be
Klay Thompson shut down Kyrie Irving those first couple games.
Yeah. I don't know who you... you could try to make JR do it, but he's not a defender, really. I mean... He's all right. I don't know. Put Flash on him, actually. Put D Wade on Klay Thompson.
You think Dwayne Wade's going to be running through picks and screens, chasing Klay Thompson around the whole season?
Nah, just call for a switch.
It sounds like you're being really optimistic, Landon.
You have to be.
I'm not a Cavs fan, so I'm not optimistic at all. I'll have the Warriors in 7. You have the Cavs in 7?
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree on that one.
I'm also going to predict a KD injury at some point this year.
Oh, okay. If there's a KD injury, then the Cavs will. Well, Landon, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Can't wait to have you on again.
Yep, for sure.
And next up, I'm going to talk about my NFL Week 7 predictions. Coming up next on Barber Shop Sports Talk. Oh, with Barber Shop Sports Talk. Wanted to thank Landon for coming on. Appreciated his insight, what we have for the NBA. Loved it. Now it's time to close out the show. Before that, I'm going to give my Week 7 NFL predictions. Chiefs at Raiders for Thursday Night Football. I have the Chiefs winning 24-10. Have the Chiefs going to keep on winning. And they had one little blimp in the road against the Steelers, but they're going to get back on track against the Raiders. Buccaneers at Bills. I have the Buccaneers winning 17-16. I'm a Bills fan. I'm off the Bills bandwagon until proven otherwise. They have to win these games for me to pick them. I picked them to beat Cincinnati, and they burned me. Ravens at Vikings. I have the Vikings winning 23-20. Don't like how the Ravens offense is right now. I think that the Vikings are coming together, and I like the Vikings roster. Jets at Dolphins. The Jets winning 13-10 in a snooze fest. The offense in this game will be horrendous. Cardinals at Rams. I have the Rams winning 27-20. Love the Rams. Everybody knows this. I'm on the Rams bandwagon. I'm a believer. Sean McVay, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, the crew. I'm rolling with the Rams. Jaguars at Colts. I have the Jaguars winning 31-17. This is about time for that Jaguars Jekyll and Hyde game where they just blow out a team. We're like, how the hell did Jacksonville do that? Titans at Browns. I have the Titans winning 20-17. I'm probably being a little bit nice to the Browns to the fact that I had them scoring 17 points. The Browns are an awful football team, and the Titans will win this game. Saints at Packers. I have the Saints winning 34-17. 17 points might be generous for the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers and they have Brett Hundley in. That's probably generous. Maybe 10. I'll change that. 34-10. Panthers at Bears. I have the Panthers winning 24-19. Cowboys at 49ers. I have the Cowboys winning 19-16. Broncos at Chargers. I have the Chargers winning 20-17. Was big on the Broncos entering the season, but and I like Trevor Siemian, but Trevor Siemian has some games that just they irk me. They irk me to death. And the Chargers are coming together and they're on a little win streak right now. Bengals at Steelers. I have the Steelers winning 26-23. Seahawks at Giants. I have the Seahawks winning 20-13. The Giants' offensive line will get demolished. And the Seahawks' offensive line ain't very good either. But Russell Wilson can escape the pressure. Eli Manning can't escape the pressure. That will be the difference in the game. Falcons at Patriots. I have the Patriots winning 28-27. Another team I was big on, the Atlanta Falcons. What the hell has been going on with this team? They lost to Miami. That's embarrassing. You lost to the Bills and you lost to Miami. You can't have that if you're a Super Bowl caliber team. You can't have that. And last but not least, for Monday Night Football, Redskins at Eagles. I have the Redskins winning 24-23. Narrowing the gap on the Eagles in the NFC East race. That's what we have for my Week 7 NFL predictions. Well, let's hope I go undefeated. Every game is right. Now, time for our last segment, our closing segment, the night train as we're leaving. I'm going to keep this short and sweet today. The NBA season's back. I always love the NBA. The storylines, it's amazing. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors, Russell Westbrook, triple-double. James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, Greg Popovich, Kawhi Leonard, and those San Antonio Spurs waiting in the wings. Could we see not a trilogy, but the foursome? I don't even know how to say it. The foursome. The fourth meeting. It's like they make 3 movies, well, and then you have the fourth one. The fourth one's usually a bust. I mean, I thought a climax at the second one, but the fourth one, who knows? You got Dwayne Wade, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry. It's just amazing. I'm just salivating right now. The NBA is back. Basketball is back. I had a good show today. Just again want to thank Landon Rhodes for coming on. Ashley for being great as always. Right, Ashley?
Huh?
Ashley for being great as always. Say hi to the viewers, Ashley.
No, I'm not sad.
Ashley doesn't want to say hi, but Ashley's usually very outgoing. We want to thank Ashley. We want to thank everybody. It's been a great 20th episode of Barber Shop Sports Talk.
Waiting outside on the porch. I ain't trying to do this anymore. I just wanna go and get the scores. Never had the money at my door. Waiting outside on the porch. I ain't trying to do this anymore. I just wanna go and get the scores. Never had the money at my door. Now I'm with the bands, well of course. Now my fans are booking all my tours. Never seen me coming up before. Saying that my lyrics need awards. No foreign that I cannot afford. My whip so loud it swerves and makes a roar.